Your book, it's a history book, it's a memoir, it's an art book, and our readers would have been familiar with a lot of elements of this book, and I'm sure that a lot of them would have even heard the name of your family, but not very many would have heard about Natsuka. So what is the Natsuka?
Basically, Japanese sculpture, carving, mostly in ivory or wood, and they were used as toggles for small inlaid lacquer cases that would hang off your kimono. And they cover all kinds of things: animals, mythological creatures, erotica, mythology, all kinds of stuff.
Have you ever been tempted about writing a book just about them as an art book?
No, absolutely not. I don't pretend remotely to be an expert on them. I'm not. I just love them.
Yes, but there's so many layers, and it's another whole history behind them itself.
The thing is that I could spend the rest of my life rewriting bits of the book.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Can you think of one thing that you discovered about your family that really, really surprised you?
I think the thing that really knocked me back, I have to say, was discovering this relationship without Proust. I'd known this sort of story that there was this relationship between Charles, this ancestor of mine who collected these things, and Proust. I hadn't registered how intertwined their lives were, and that really knocked me back and it slowed down my writing a lot, because I suddenly got very anxious. How on earth can I write this book if I've got Proust sitting next to me on the sofa? The thing that really surprised me was going into this house in Vienna, the family house in Vienna, and realizing the reality of the loss, the scale of what had been. And that was like being punched. It was sort of a physical thing, like, that's it. That's what was left behind.
Do you have any sense of restitution? Is that something that you are looking for? Do you think it's possible?
Restitution is a really, really complicated and a really simple question. Simple in the sense of restitution is about giving things back which have been stolen, which have been looted. I mean, it's about righting a wrong. And in that sense, there is no statute of limitations. I think if things have been stolen, I think they remain stolen until they're given back. That's one issue. The other issue is that you can also restitute stories, and that's our responsibility. You know, you don't wait for other people to give lawyers to give it back to you. You take it on yourself to claim back the things that have been lost, and that is family history. That is storytelling, and often it's generational. It can take 2 or 3 generations for stories to emerge.
All your life you have been working and creating art with your hands. Now you've created something with words.
They're not very separate as activities. It sounds very bizarre to say that making porcelain on a wheel and writing a book can be akin, but for me they are absolutely aspects of shaping something. Language has physicality. It really does. It has shape.
Wanted to come back for a little bit to the Natsuka. Your collection came from Japan, went to France, went to Vienna, went back to Japan. Have you ever been tempted of leaving it there?
The answer is no. To be straightforward about that. No, because it's a family collection. I absolutely knew that it had another life with my children. This is an ongoing story. You know, and I don't want to stop that, stall that story and stop it and say, actually, do you know what, they're going to a Japanese museum now. No, absolutely not. They've been through so much. They're part of a living family story, and I need to complicate my children's life by giving it to them.
If somebody told you now that you have a chance for a short trip in time, and you can go back to one particular period in the history of your family.
It would be quite good, wouldn't it, to be able to be having a dinner party in Charles's apartment in the Rue Monceau with Degas and Zola and people like that. That would be quite good, but I would leave that aside, I think a really great moment. I think before the First War in Vienna, and I'd love to experience that. I'd love to see how this great imperial, complicated, neurotic city, so alive to art, literature, psychoanalysis, history, fissured with different ethnicities and different political activities, and this family, this family life in the middle of it. That, for me, feels like the moment to go to.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Reading Room and all of our readers, I will be looking forward to that next book.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much.